spent too much money, okay? Blind trust is not smart. I also made another mistake during that process.
We're back! Welcome to Gerber Fam YouTube channel. We are here today to talk a little bit about business, have some fun, and ask some interview questions with my guest, Mariyah Gerber, the owner, CEO, boss babe of the Match Me Boutique. Mariyah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. You're pretty cute.
Oh, I'm married. Thank you.
Same.
Lucky guy. Why don't you tell us what are we doing here today?
So this is actually my second time filming this video. I just wanted to point that out because we said we were going to come back faster. Right away I filmed this, but it was 28 minutes long and I just feel like I didn't get to the point. So we're going to redo it. Okay. You're going to help me.
I'm going to help you through this.
Yeah.
Together.
But today we were talking about the Match Me Boutique. As some of you guys already know, I launched a business and I have been open now for I think 5 months, which I don't know if that clap is warranted. I mean, it's going okay. But I really wanted to do our video today so that I could talk about everything that I've learned during this process. I have learned a lot of really good golden nuggets, I guess you could say.
Tidbits of information?
Yeah, just like so many things I would have done differently, but at the same time, I also feel like I did some things right. So I want to share that with you guys because I know in our last video, we asked you guys if you wanted me to talk about business, and a lot of you guys said yes. So we're going to talk business.
We're going to do some deep dives here. And like Mariyah said, I'm going to walk her through this. I'm going to hold your hand and make sure we get to the nitty gritty stuff.
Yeah, I need help getting to the point because I was like...
It's a lot of information to tackle, so let's just jump right in.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we talk about what inspired you to come up with the idea of the Match Me Boutique?
So some of you guys probably already know this, but before Peter and I were content creators, we had an Etsy store, and it has always been my dream to have my own business. And we actually tried to start with apparel. It was a big fail. I wouldn't say big fail, but we eventually had to dabble into some other things and pivot in order to make that business a success. And then once we found social media, we realized that just income-wise, we were making more for the amount of time and effort it was taking us. And so we decided to go ahead and put our Etsy store on pause. And so now that we've been doing content creation for about 2 to 3 years.
Coming up on 3 years.
3 years. I really wanted to get back into having my own business. I feel like just long-term wise, it'd be great to have our own business. Social media is a business, but it's a different kind of business. So I just wanted to have something that I could pass down to our kids.
Yes, plural.
Not just kid. Something that I can pass down to our kids and hopefully turn into, something much bigger than what it is right now. And I was inspired particularly to do athleisure apparel. Peter and I are former athletes and we love to match. If you guys don't already know,
let me correct you there. I'm the one who loves to match. Like whenever Mariyah and Aiden go into their little corner and they set up like what they're gonna wear for the day, I am the last to know, and so then I go in and have to change my outfits.
He's always changing his outfits to match.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like just the combination of athletic wear, I'm like a leggings, sweater, active wear dress, like that's my style. And I also wanted to create apparel that was play friendly for kids. So like anything that I create, I feel like every design is thoughtfully put together so that like not only can you be cute and aesthetic and match, but also your kids can play in it freely without you feeling like they're constricted by materials or whatnot.
Love it. So bring us to the beginning. Tell us how you got started in this.
So I got started because I met this girl. She has her own business and she suggested to me that I actually get a sourcing agent. So
a third party.
Yeah, someone to help me because content creation, I know some people don't believe it, but it is a full-time job. And then I'm also, we're parents, I'm a mom. So I just did not have the time to dedicate to doing all the research to starting a business. So it was suggested to me to hire a sourcing agent. So I actually found my sourcing agent on Upwork. I literally just went in there, typed sourcing agent, and I read through all the reviews and I selected a sourcing agent that way. And basically what a sourcing agent is meant to do is I originally had her create the designs and like draw up what I wanted for each item. And then after that, she helped me with the production side.
So basically, instead of dedicating your time to the entire process, you wanted to delegate
Yes.
some tasks to make the load lighter on yourself. And you put your trust in these other people.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so with that, please continue.
If I were to do it again,
Yes.
I would not have done that. And I don't think hiring a sourcing agent is a bad idea. I just think the way I went about it was a bad idea. And this girl that I met, I didn't know her that well, so it wasn't like I felt like I could like go back and ask her any more questions. And I was a year plus into the process before I was like, okay, I feel like there's mistakes being made. Some of the mistakes that I think that I made. The first mistake is when you put your trust in somebody, like, you still need to be very, very involved in the process. And I feel like for our first design, I originally wanted to do joggers and a sweater. It took us over a year and a half to get sizing done for that. And every single time I was like, I don't understand why the sizing is right. Like, I do know that kid sizing, there really is no standard sizing, but the sizing was wrong for like a year and a half. So I was starting to get frustrated, and I kept having to pivot because, as you guys know, seasons change, you know, every 3-4 months. So I was trying to keep up with the seasons, and eventually I ended up launching sweaters and shorts instead of sweaters and joggers. But I realized the person that I hired, I do not feel that her specialty was kids' clothes. I don't think that the factory that she linked me up with, their specialty was kids' clothes or athletic wear. So when I was trying to figure out sizing, they were doing a lot of this, both of them, for the first time. So it took us so much longer, and I've realized while working with other factories that like they will get sizing right first go round. Like minor changes, maybe 1 inch longer here, 1 inch longer there. Like we were doing like 3 inches off, way too big for a year and a half. So,
and if I remember correctly, in the research phase of this, you did look around, you had some ideas, but in the end, you didn't really dig too deep. You just picked the first one that was on your list. Is that fair to say?
I mean, she had the best reviews.
Okay.
And I feel like the reason why, and this is another reason where I messed up. So she had reviews for creating what is called a tech pack. So you can go on Upwork and have someone create you a tech pack. A tech pack is not necessary. That's the other thing I just want to preface.
One of the things that you learned is the tech pack.
Tech pack is not necessary. You can send a factory pictures of what you want, and they can make exactly that. Like, you can have someone sketch it out on Fiverr even for like, I don't know, maybe $100. Like, I was paying like $6,000 for a tech pack with sizing information, and it was still wrong. So I just feel like I wouldn't do that again.
Would you say one of your long list of mistakes, one of those mistakes, would be putting blind trust in this person? And I mean that by like, yes, you selected the person to delegate and give some tasks to, and you just let them run with it.
Yeah.
Did you really check in on them? Like, could you have been more on top of the project?
So I was checking in. Like I said, I did not have the time to dedicate.
Yep.
So I didn't have the time to dedicate. So like, as it was taking longer and longer, of course I was like, okay, what's going on? I don't understand. This is just a sweater and pants. Like, why is it taking so long? But what I think I failed to do is, when I felt like it was taking too long, instead of halting the process and just potentially starting over with someone else, that felt like, I don't want to start all the way over with someone else. I should still continue with this person. And that was a mistake. I should have noticed the red flags. I should have stopped it right there. And I should have looked into other avenues to get the business started.
That's a big thing right there. Do not ignore your red flags, people.
No, trust that intuition.
Yes. So I would say so far off to a rough start in terms of planning.
Yeah.
Okay. Going into the launch, before we get into the launch, is there anything else that you wish you could have done better?
Order quantities. This is another big mistake that I made.
We'll cut to a shot here of the office, what we have going on here, just how much inventory we have sitting.
We've got a lot of freaking inventory. And I hate to like point fingers with the sourcing agent, but I didn't know what I didn't know, and I just trusted her so much.
Yeah.
And the factory that I was working with, once we finalized design, everything, I got ready to place my order.
This took a whole year, by the way.
Yeah, a year and a half. Yeah. I got ready to order and I found out that the order quantities that I needed were, I believe, like 250 per size per color.
And we have a lot of sizes, multiple colors and a lot of sizes.
Yeah, so we offer 0 to 3 all the way to 2XL. And in the kid sizes, instead of doing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which that's another thing. If you're a clothing brand, do that for your launch. Do not do what I did. I was going to do that. I asked her. She suggested that I do individual sizes for each kid. So I did 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a lot of inventory. So yeah, so 250 per size, per color, per style. So that ended up meaning I needed to order a lot of inventory. So my biggest regret here is, again, not asking questions. There are factories that will do a minimum order quantity of like 30. So like you could order like 5 small, 5 medium, 5 large, and that would be enough.
And as a starting out business, like not even growing, just trying to get started, that makes a whole lot more sense.
Oh yeah, makes way more sense. So just to give you guys a little bit of like how much money we spent, I don't want to.
Ooh, I'm sweating right now.
I know we spent too much money.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
But my very first order was $40,000, and that is not a standard amount of money. I thought it was, and that's, again, when you don't know what you don't know, you start making mistakes, and you can definitely start a business with less money than that. There are other factories. I work with other factories now. I found them on Alibaba by myself. I just ordered samples. I sent them pictures of what I wanted, and that's just another better way to do it. Blind trust is not smart.
I think a whole bunch of sayings are coming to my head. Less is more, number one. You don't know what you don't know. And that's it for right now. But yeah. Don't ignore those red flags.
No.
Okay. One of the big factors I feel when you place the order for this massive quantity was in preparation for your launch, which happened on June 1st.
June 1st, yeah.
So tell us about that.
So that was really stressful. When you place an order, you don't really know when it's going to come. They give you an estimated time, but you don't really know when it's going to come. We were definitely prepping for my launch party that was happening on June 1st. I placed this massive order, and the launch itself was fine. I think the launch itself was fine.
Great turnout. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah, thanks to people who came to my launch party. Thanks to people who bought at my launch party. I really appreciated that. But I also made another mistake during that process. Launching on Amazon.
Oh.
And I just...
This should be a separate episode, actually. Honestly.
I probably should. Because you know what? You see all these people on TikTok and they're like, Amazon is so easy. I made $500K a year on Amazon.
Those are drop shippers, number one.
Well, and they're selling already name brand products.
Yeah.
So I just think as a boutique seller or a clothing line seller,
just getting started,
I personally would not recommend Amazon. And this is no shade to Amazon. It's just, it is not the ideal way to start your business.
Yeah. It's great. It's definitely enticing because everyone uses Amazon for the most part.
Yeah, so that was my thought.
And you have a lot of eyes, right, on your product. That was the whole idea behind launching on Amazon.
Yeah, so originally I was like, I want to launch on Amazon because there's so many people who shop on Amazon and, you know, the traffic is already there. I don't have to worry about that. And then if we have a good product and once we get the reviews going, everything will sell. Easy peasy. Number one, the back end of Amazon is a mess. It's okay if you have, they're called ASINs. So like, if you have like a one size product and there's 3 variants, you would only have 3 ASINs. For example, I had over 200 ASINs because I have all the sizes that I have and then the different color variations. So it was just very, very messy to organize. Number 2, Amazon Prime is not as easy as people make it look, okay?
Because we're talking about the seller end, the back end of the seller side, not the consumer side.
Yeah, I mean, we literally got a notification that was like, if you leave your product with us, indefinitely, it's going to cost you $43,000. So we were like, okay,
that's a big thing right there.
We need to take it back.
It's the fees, because the storage fees, they're laid out for you, but you need to do the calculations yourself.
Yeah.
And there are a whole bunch of different variables. There's the size of the product, the weight of the product, where it's located, because at one point, for some reason, we had products located in Brazil. We had 3 different markets: North America, Mexico, and Brazil.
Yeah. So that's another thing. And then my third and last one is that return culture on Amazon is brutal, okay?
Yeah. We're guilty of it.
Oh,
we return all the time.
I'm not like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I cannot fault Amazon specifically. I'm just saying, as a new business owner, Amazon was not the route that I would take, because, like I just said, return culture on Amazon is so intense. Like, people will buy something, they'll wear it, and they'll return it. Like, that's just how people use Amazon, because Amazon makes returns so easy. So, we would sell something and then, get 2 or 3 returns. So I just feel like, if you're a new business, I would not personally recommend Amazon. And like, if you guys want me to talk about this a little bit more, because there's so much more to it. I did hire a company to help me get set up on Amazon. They weren't necessarily great. There's 2 different things. There's FBA, which is like Amazon Prime, where Amazon stores your products and they ship them for you. And then there's FBM, which is Fulfilled by Merchant, which means you ship everything. We originally started FBM, and when I hired my ads company, they suggested I do Prime. That was another fail. We should have just stuck with FBM, so then that way at least we had all of our products in-house and we could control, if it wasn't going well, pivoting, instead of losing money sending it there, and then now we're losing money having it come back.
So we've heard the whole backstory, and we've heard your process from the beginning budding stages all the way to the selling stages. What are some lessons that you've learned, some hard-hitting lessons that you've learned?
The first lesson would be definitely to keep your eyes on what's happening at all times. I think that it is so tempting to want to delegate, especially when you're really busy and you just have this dream and this vision, and you want, basically, I don't want to say you want someone else to make it happen for you, because I definitely do feel like that's not the case. I am a hard worker. I didn't necessarily want someone to make it happen for me, but I was hoping to have little details taken care of, and I wish that I would have been in there on the ground micromanaging, essentially, because that's what I normally do.
It's not a healthy thing, but in this case, like, and this is your baby, your growing business.
The one time I don't micromanage.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. My second lesson would be to continuously educate yourself through the process. So as things are happening and as you are developing your business, don't be like so into it. Like I wish that I would have tried to find other people to ask questions to, some kind of mentorship. I wish that I would have gotten on Alibaba myself and like started looking for manufacturers, maybe even for the future. I wish that I would have just kept working and like myself. As I had this other person working, I still had so many more things to learn, and I feel like I just stopped myself in the process, and I'm like, oh, she's working on it. Like, this kind of goes back to micromanaging, but like, keep learning.
Yeah, never stop learning, never stop working.
Yes, yes. You know, if you're looking for manufacturers, Alibaba is a really great resource. I have found some really amazing people on there. You might have to go through and order several different samples from several different companies, but you will find someone that is trustworthy, that does great work. It's not as difficult as I think some people make it seem. You don't necessarily need help for that.
And in terms of money spent, we definitely went about it the wrong way. You definitely don't need to spend, $40,000+.
No, I mean, I what did you say? Spanx, they launched their business with $5,000. So like, you could do it with way less money than what I did it with. My third biggest lesson is do not be afraid to pivot. If you guys remember in the beginning, I said we had our Etsy business and it wasn't necessarily going our way. It wasn't necessarily as successful as we wanted, and we pivoted. Same with the Match Me Boutique. Right now, our business is not where we want it to be. So what are we going to do? We are going to pivot. We're pivoting. We're definitely going to continue down this route of selling athleisure wear. But like, as you guys can see, I am wearing a printed sweater. Originally, I wanted to do solids, basics, more along the lines of like Lululemon or Athleta. Like they don't have print really. That was kind of my goal. It was like, I want to be like a Lulu Athleta for like everybody. And I'm pivoting. I am now pivoting to doing more personalized items and still high quality. I have a lot of faith in our product. And I feel like if we just add that personalization element, it will just add another layer of like, I really love the way that this feels, because that's something that we get all the time. People are like, oh my God, this is so soft. I love the way that it feels. Well, what might entice you to buy a little bit more is if you can add a name, or like that'd be a really great gift because it's a high quality item that you're able to get at, I think our prices are pretty decent, a decent price, and it's customized. So I just think like, don't be afraid to pivot. We're now going out and we're doing markets. So instead of just solely relying on selling online, we are doing 12 markets, I believe, this season. So we're going out, we're selling in person, which has been really great for the business.
So if you see us, please come say hi.
Yeah, if you live in Arizona, we have a whole list of markets. So if you guys want to come say hi, I hope that whoever is watching this, if they have a dream and they want to have a business, I don't want any of the things that I messed up on to discourage you. I want you to learn from me. I want you to know that even if you feel like you're currently failing, it doesn't mean that you've failed. I want you to feel like you can pivot if you need to. I want you to feel like growing a business takes time. You cannot compare somebody else's year 5, 10 to your year 1. You have to start somewhere, and you have to not be afraid to start somewhere. So
to add to those phrases, number 3, Rome was not built in a day. So,
no.
I just gotta say that it takes a lot of guts from you to lay this all out, you know, the mistakes, and to be able to acknowledge those mistakes and to be willing to share with our audience here. So really good stuff, babe. You have a heart of gold. All you want to do is help people out there. So if this was helpful to you guys, be sure to let us know in the comments. If you stuck around to the end of this video, we have a little bit of a surprise for you. We are going to give you a discount code on our store on the matchmeboutique.com. And if you type in YouTube, you're going to get
30% off.
Check that out, okay? This is the only time that I'm going to mention it. I'm not writing it in the description, so if you're here and you're watching this, be sure to take advantage of that. Mariyah, thank you so much for joining us here. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave our audience with?
No, thank you guys for listening. And I wish you luck in all of your business endeavors if you guys have a dream to be a business owner, and we're going to figure this all out together.
That's it. That's my spiel.
All right.
Cool. Bye.